talking, it's December 1st. That's crazy. This year has been a time. And yeah, I just got back to New York after being home for 10 days and I'm feeling a lot of emotions right now. Obviously, I'm a little bummed out that I'm across the country again by myself, but I'm trying to look at it in a positive perspective because I know I'll only be here for 2 weeks and then I go back home for Christmas. So it's just a matter of surviving the 2 weeks. I don't understand why I'm crying so much. Actually, I do. Life is just tough sometimes, and I think just as humans, we tend to bottle up all the emotions, thinking they're just gonna go away naturally, but they don't. So it's good to cry every once in a while and just allow your body to feel that sense of relief. And I think it's also humanizing to know that we're complex enough to produce water to come from our eyes. It's interesting. So yeah, anyways, I'm just trying to keep positive perspective about being back in New York. So I'm gonna state some of the positives. I'm excited to be back to implement my routines and rituals. I love being home, but home also has a lot of distractions and I already lack discipline and consistency. So those negative tendencies of mine are just heightened. So then fell back into, not working out, not doing my yoga, not meditating, and I definitely felt the consequences of that. So I'm excited to be back in New York to get back into those routines and rituals that I have fought so hard to continue. I'm also excited to start a new chapter in my life. It's funny because from March, I feel like I start these new chapters and I only get a quarter, maybe halfway through the chapter itself, and then I get distracted or lost and confused. And I end up not finishing that chapter, and I'm just tired of that. However, I think that this new chapter is pretty set in stone. I know, because I think that that's what's best. And honestly, I think I just need to take a step back and allow myself the space to think through my decisions and really figure out what's best for me. And you might be asking, why is she crying so much? Well, there's just a lot of life things that are going on that are a little tough to talk about and explain. Thankfully, there's therapy for that. But anyway, life is just tough. My lease is up in March and I start school in January here in New York. And before I went home this time, I was dead set on going to school and finishing up my bachelor's degree. But with being home, I was just reminded of how important family is to me and how much I miss their presence. And then I think about it and I'm like, wait, I don't know if I really want to move back home. And it's really about just slowing down my brain and not overthinking the decisions that I make, because I tend to do that a lot. I tend to be very indecisive. I'll be 100% one day and then another day I'm the complete opposite, and I definitely need to figure that out because it's causing me a lot of emotional distress that I do not need to be having. So enough of the sad stuff for the introduction. Despite feeling overwhelmed and mentally exhausted, I know that it's important for me to take the little steps of taking care of myself, and so right now I'm gonna work out. I'm not going to the gym though because I don't want to, and thankfully I have the resources here in my apartment to do a quick, simple yet effective workout. So I'm gonna do that now, and then after that I'm gonna take a shower and then lay in bed and watch Selling Sunset. So please join me on this very eventful day. Okay. I'm feeling much more refreshed now. I just got done working out. I did my yoga, did a 5-minute meditation, and just got out of the shower. So I feel very cleansed of the emotional drama I've placed upon myself. I'm now going to take a nap. Okay, I just woke up from my nap, and instead of it being an hour, it turned into a 5-hour nap. So now I'm going to cook dinner. Okay, so as you can see, I'm feeling a lot better than when I started this video. So that's a good sign. I just finished cooking breakfast. What? Not the breakfast. I just finished cooking dinner. I made ground beef tacos with onion, spinach, and tomato. And then I also drank my protein shake. So I feel very well nourished, which is nice. But anyways, like I said, I'm feeling a lot better. And I think that's encouraging. I think we can all agree that life is tough. We're gonna go through ups and downs, and when we feel like we have it all together, something might happen that kind of proves you wrong. But I think the best that we can do is handle it with grace. Because to a point, you will never always have life figured out, but you will always be strong enough and wise enough to overcome whatever it is you're experiencing. And I think that is important to recognize. One thing that I tend to do a lot is that I say things, but my actions don't line up with my words. It falls back to, being disciplined and consistent. I tend to say that I'm going to do a lot of these things. I'm going to start doing YouTube videos. I'm going to start working out. I'm doing, but I always neglect the keyword doing. And the book that I was reading said that if you don't like a word, if a word isn't working for you, change it. So that's what I'm gonna do with the word doing. I'm no longer going to be doing these things. I'm going to achieve these things because I'm tired of letting myself down too. And the way you treat yourself by not showing up, by not having self-respect, by not being in your corner, you would never do that to someone else. So why do you feel it's appropriate to do those things to your own being? In a way, it's hypocritical and downright undeserving. Lots of learning and growing being achieved over here. So thank you for being here on this journey with me and for reminding me that I'm not alone. And if you're also experiencing a tough time right now, we'll be okay. I hope that these videos bring you a sense of comfort to knowing that nobody, no matter how much it may look like it, nobody ever has it truly together, and we're all human, and life is a wild ride. Once you take the time to appreciate it for what it is, all the experiences, the good and the bad, you begin to realize that life is much more precious than we make it out to be. Alright, I'll see you next time.